I'm just going to say it. I would argue the indeterministic nature of AI is worse than hallucinations. This guy, CJ, last month, he kind of lost his love for coding because of AI. He was finding he was basically becoming a manager, which famously people just don't like to do. Become managers. He missed actually coding because he was just managing his AIs and stuff like that. So he made a vow to like not code for 30 days. And he actually made this review of kind of what he's learned. And I followed this journey just because, again, like I said earlier, like I'm someone who does want to keep challenging their own beliefs and see the other side and start to, question whether I'm, rightly informed on everything. I don't want to be just kind of blind to all of the shortcomings of AI.
Yeah.
And I kind of wanted to point out a few of the things that he learned, right? Funny enough, even though he had only done 30 days, he still found that he craved using AI for quite a few things, right? He talks about this cycle of AI slop being now put onto the internet. And I really don't want to see this coming, because a friend of mine sent me a video that was AI and she thought it was not AI. And I was like, sorry, that cute dog is AI. And it made me think, like, if people are constantly being bombarded with AI stuff, they're just not going to use that platform. Instagram being this example. People are not going to use Instagram because it's like every other post is friggin' AI. Or they need to be able to filter that stuff out. The internet, I hope, is not going to be the same thing. Like, if everywhere we go, every website we turn to, there's just AI crap on there. There's no new information or anything like that. People are going to stop posting to the internet or stop using the internet. I really hope that's not going to be the case. Or someone needs to come out with some big filter that says no to AI stuff. Like, even these AI browsers, I'd hope that we could turn a thing off to say, just don't show me or don't suggest AI created content. What he turned to is a new website that I found now called DevDocs. He's turned to using documentation above something like Stack Overflow, which traditionally we would use just because the question has already been answered somewhere on Stack Overflow, right? Stack Overflow driven development. He resorted to using DevDocs, or documentation just in general. This is just a nice way to have it. So you can download and install actually any documentation to any sort of language, Vite, Vue, what we've got here, Webpack, all this sort of stuff. You can actually select those for offline referencing. So if you are getting into development, like being able to, and God damn it, documentation can be ugly. It's very, very difficult to sort of pick apart. But saying that, I actually wanted to create an MCP wrapper for this website. I don't know whether it's possible to do that, but some way to be able to reference documentation or bring that in, because I have MCPs for documentation. So long story short is he found a lot of answers to actually understand what's actually happening by reading the documentation. So that was a nice little insight. He also found that the human aspect to defining the infrastructure of applications was something he used to just throw to AI. I'm still at that level. It's kind of weird because I kind of understand how applications are put together. And I think that's what makes me a good developer in the age of AI, is that I can trust that the AI can do the what do you call it, the manual stuff, but I'm there happily overseeing it and making sure that everything's roughly done in the right way. But to define and design, like the architecture to your app, your thing, right? You had a developer put that in a prompt, but they were there to think about how you would architect this project, that sort of stuff.
And the AI didn't do it, by the way.
No, I know you didn't do it, but
Yeah.
Oh, what, you didn't use that prompt?
No, I used the prompt, and the prompt had like exact steps and like an exact structure, and the AI did like 80% of the things as it was told to, and the rest just blew it. Yeah, it
Yeah.
didn't do it correctly.
Wow. Yeah, that's the thing. Like you can, oh yeah, I
Yeah,
would
it's
have probably,
AI.
yeah, exactly right. I probably would have just given you a boilerplate, and that's enough for it to like. There's plenty of boilerplates out
Yeah,
there. I
the
can just
amount
give you
of
this stuff.
like prompts that I go through to get things done, and I change stuff.
Mm,
Sometimes I just add features and then remove them, and because I don't do it in a, let's say, sustainable way, it gets really busy very fast.
mm,
Because I'm building like MVPs essentially, not
yeah,
like
yeah,
very clean. Yeah.
uh, yeah. So I mean, that was that. It's interesting to see his journey. There is still, he's a hardcore coder. There is still a time and a place for coding. But then I saw another video, but this is a ColdFusion video we've mentioned a few times on the show. This was a video just released this week, and it talks about the kind of, are we really ready for AI? It used to be called vibe coding, but they must have updated the
Yeah.
title or something. But just reading about this, it's kind of like a semi-sponsored, Lovable sponsored this video, and I don't care who you are. If someone gives you money, you are going to be slightly biased to that person. He does say they don't have any input, blah blah blah. But you are going to be slightly biased. I'm sorry, but that's just the way the brain works. Anyway, obviously you're seeing a lot of lovable stuff here. This is still lovable stuff. This was created in lovable. This was created in lovable. A lot of lovable stuff. So anyway, again, just kind of, he even mentioned CJ's video too, actually. So it kind of
Yes,
made me
he did.
think,
He did. I watched this video as well. So the whole video is sponsored by Lovable,
mhm,
but the video is basically showing how unreliable AI is. This is my take from the video, that yes, you can build a prototype. Yes, you can do a bunch of stuff that you couldn't do before. But now, if you want that polish and you want the things to work, properly, very often AI can't get you that far.
mm,
And this is kind of like a starting point. And yeah, it's AI is not going anywhere, and we're not going to use it less. We will certainly use it a lot more. But I
mm,
think what needs to be settled down, and we need to kind of like get there and understand that it's non-deterministic. It's not really as reliable as these companies are trying to say, and it still requires an actual expert who knows what the hell is going on in order to create something proper.
mhm. Yeah. And on top of obviously saying go watch these videos for yourself and come to your own conclusion, it's left me in a really interesting point, because CJ mentioned something which is, and you've just said it as well, is the undeterministic nature of AI. And coding is the most deterministic thing you could probably ever do. It will not do anything that you don't write. Any bug that's in the code, you can't blame the code. You can only blame, you can't blame the execution. You can only blame the code that you yourself have written. It is so
Yeah.
determined. So you've got this massive dichotomy now of like, well, I'm trying to create something that has to be deterministic, that has to do exactly as I tell it to, using a tool that you can write the same prompt and it's different every time. And this is something that's really affected me the last week or so, or half a week, and that I love doing this. I'm trying to, again, like you say, it's here to stay, but I'm trying to figure out where this will rest. Where's the final resting place for AI driven development? Or have I exhausted all of my options when it comes to AI driven development? And that's why I picked up CodeRabbit. That's why I've tried Tray. I really don't want to get sucked into moving fast and building things, and using all the extra time that I've now saved to just build more features. Like it's very easy to get in that rut of just like, well, now that's taken me 3 minutes. Let's move on to the next feature. I'm really trying to utilize the extra time to make sure my system is set up as best as it can. So again, setting up rules, setting up MCPs, although I'm moving off of those now, having CodeRabbit run and all this kind of stuff. I'm I'm feeling a bit fatigued, I'm feeling a bit frustrated with the indeterministic nature, and I'm trying to make it as deterministic as possible within reason. But I think we're going to really struggle if there's coding is going to really struggle if they don't sort out. I would argue the indeterministic nature of AI is worse than hallucinations. I'm just going to say it. Humans hallucinate, right? They have
Yes.
problem, but at least what they write or whatever, what they say goes. Do you know what I mean? I don't know how they're going to sort that out, to be honest, right? But this is kind of where I'm landing on with the AI stuff. I'm not going to stop. I'm just going to try and get better, but it's just like further understanding where AI is going to stop. This is part of a larger conversation on my show, Cmd+AI, which we stream live every single week. We discuss the news and all things related to AI in the world of design and web. Catch us next week and join in the banter.